Hello dear students. So today we are going to start an important topic of class 10th bio second chapter, that is control and coordination. In this we are going to study the control and coordination in plants. Okay? So as we know that all the living organisms, they are sensitive to their environment. That is, they respond, they react to the changes that are taking place in their environment, that are taking place around them. Okay, so these changes that are bringing the response in that organism, these changes are known as what? These are known as stimuli. For example, we can say light, heat. Okay, so today we are discussing this in terms of plants. How do they coordinate? Okay, now first let us understand the meaning of coordination. What is coordination? It is the working of the various organs in full cooperation so that appropriate reaction for the stimulus can be provided. Okay, that means the various organs, they work in full cooperation, in full coordination with one another to provide the appropriate reaction for the stimulus, for the change. Okay, so as we know that in animals, this control and coordination, it is done through nervous system and through the endocrine system. But in plants, because they are not having any nervous system, okay, so they have only the hormonal control, or we can say the chemical control. They also show the movement. Okay, they are showing the movement. For example, we can say we can take the example of sunflower. As we know that sunflower, it always faces the sun. So what is the stimulus here? It is the light of the sun. And the sunflower, because it is bending towards the light of the sun, so that bending is its response. Okay, so we can say that the plants are showing the response by showing the movements, by moving their flowers, by growing up in a particular direction. Okay, or we have also seen the leaves of the Mimosa pudica plant, that is touch me not plant. As soon as we touch the leaves of that plant, they get folded. Okay, now let us understand some terms that are related with the plants. Okay, the first one is the stimulus. Now, what is stimulus? As I've already told you, that it is any change in the environment which is producing response in the part or the plant organ. Okay, any change in the environment. Okay, that means again I'm taking the example of that Mimosa pudica. If we are touching it, that means the touch is the change for it. So that is the stimulus. Second is the perceptive region. Okay, perceptive region is the region which is detecting that change, which is detecting that stimulus. Okay, like we are touching the touch me not plant, that means the leaves or wherever we have touched it, that is the from that part it has detected the touch, the stimulus. So that is the perceptive region. Now the reaction after that change, after detecting the change, the reaction which the plant is giving, that will be known as what? That will be known as response. So it is the reaction of the plant towards the stimulus. That means the folding of the Mimosa pudica plant is the reaction, is the response, is the reaction of that plant. Okay, responsive region, it is the part of the plant which shows the response. That means in this case the leaves are folding down. Okay, they are folding, they are getting folded, so the leaves are showing the response. So that is the responsive region. Okay, now we use a term like positive response or negative response. So when we will say that a positive response is there, now sorry, now if the response of the plant is towards the stimulus, okay, towards the stimulus, it is showing the response, that will be known as positive response. And if that response, that reaction of the plant is away from the stimulus, then that will be known as negative response. Okay, these terms we will be using further. Fine. So whenever the plants are detecting the external stimuli, they are moving their body parts. Okay, so in case of plants, there are two type of movements. First is growth dependent movement, and the second one is the growth independent movement. Okay, so let us see the difference between the growth dependent and the growth independent movement. Okay, now here we have made three columns. The first column represents the parameters. The second one is representing, that means it is showing the growth dependent column, and the third one is the growth independent column. Okay, so we have written here different parameters have been written over here. Okay, so the first parameter is time of action. So in the growth dependent movement, okay, growth dependent movement, these are very slow. That means if a plant is detecting a light, that means it has detected a light and the shoot is growing towards a light, that will be a slow response. Okay, but if I am saying the folding of the mimosa pudica, because it is a quick response, it is an immediate response, so that will be growth independent response or the growth independent movement. Okay, second parameter is the cause. Now because this growth dependent movement is due to the cell division, the division of the cells will divide more, and due to that it will show the growth in that area. Okay, whereas the growth independent movement, the immediate response will be due to the change in the turgor pressure. Okay, the turgor pressure is due to the like we can say the pressure that is created by the water on the walls, that is known as the turgor pressure. So that there, the change, due to this change in the turgor pressure, the growth independent movements will be there. Fine. The third parameter is the response to the stimulus. That means the growth dependent movements will respond in the direction of the stimulus only. If a light is there, so the shoot is growing towards the light, that means it is showing the positive response in the direction of that response only, from where the light is coming. Whereas the growth independent movement will be non-directional. It might not be in the direction of the stimulus. Okay, so growth dependent movements, these are also known as tropic movements. Okay, and the growth independent movement, these are known as nastic movements, which we are going to cover in our next video. Okay, growth dependent movement known as tropic movements, and the growth independent movements are known as what? These are known as nastic movements. Example we can see, like the example of growth dependent movement is phototropism, as I've already told you. And in growth independent, one more example we can quote, the opening and the closing of stomata, because this opening and the closing of stomata, as you have learned in chapter number 1, that is life processes also, that the stomata close and open due to the change in the turgor pressure. When the water is entering the guard cells, they swell up. Okay, and then the stomatal pore, they open, and when the water is coming out of the guard cells, that means they are shrinking, decrease in the turgor pressure, so due to that the stomatal pore is closing. Okay, so this was all about the difference between the growth dependent and growth independent movement. Rest topics we are going to cover in the next video. Thank you.